7 o'clock, and I'm going to call the meeting to order, and we'll rise to say the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Approval of the agenda or changes to the agenda?
I guess, are we looking to remove the third docket item then?
Yeah, and it's officially known that it's going to withdrawn, correct? Okay,
Yeah, I would move to remove the docket number PC 09182503.
I'll second that.
and it's withdrawn, so I don't know if we even need
We don't
to
need
do
to.
that.
Okay.
Okay,
Then I would move to approve the amended agenda.
And I'll second it.
all in favor of approving the amended agenda, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, say nay. Hearing none, all in favor. Approval of the minutes of August 21st, 2025.
I approve the minutes.
Is there a second on that?
Second.
Louis seconds it. All in favor of approving the minutes as written, say aye. Aye. Anybody opposed to that, say nay. Hearing none, all in favor to approve the minutes of August 21st. Updates from the Board of Adjustments.
We heard 4 petitions today. And 2 of them were denied and 2 of them were approved. The 2 that were approved, one was Ridgeway School. They were looking for a variance from the backyard setback for a solar array. And then the second would be our second petition here tonight, and we approved a prime soils variance for that one. The 2 that we did not approve were a parcel split, or I guess a couple of parcel splits that would have been, one was essentially for a sale of a property that would have been for economic gain solely. The other was prime soils variance as well as a feedlot setback, and it was just didn't meet the criteria in multiple ways. It was just too close to the feedlot, and the feedlot owner wasn't on board, and it's not a good option, we thought.
Thank you. County Board, Marcia can't be here. Josh, I didn't hear from him, but obviously he's not here. So we will skip over the County Board remarks and then get a brief update from staff with the comprehensive plan.
Yeah, comprehensive plan. We have essentially wrapped up phase 1 public engagement with the plan. Public engagement included 2 pop-ups, one at County Fair, one at Family Night on the Farm. We had a township workshop with township officers. We had a public open house just last week or the week before.
Last week, I believe. Stockton.
And in Stockton. And then we've had some online engagement with a survey that's been out for a while. There's also some paper copies that came in. So that was kind of out in the community in multiple different ways. We were happy with the amount of engagement that we've had so far. I hope that all of you have at least taken the survey. I think we've seen a couple of you at events and appreciate any time that you've given to give us your feedback on that. I guess going forward, we do have a steering committee meeting in about a couple weeks, just under a couple weeks. We have 4 dates that we threw out there to consider. It's a tough time of year with farmers being in the fields, so we were trying to be sensitive to that, and we gave them a number of different dates to choose from, and then we're going to try to play the weather a little bit when we get closer, if possible. But regardless, we have people who have, we have fairly good attendance for at least 3 of the days that week of, suppose it would be September 29th and October 1st and 2nd. And so we're hoping to lock that in next week. I know anybody who has questions about that, let me know. We can talk after the meeting as well if you'd like, for those steering committee members here. And so that meeting, we're going to be looking at vision and goal setting. We're going to ask the steering committee to help us narrow down we're going to summarize the engagement comments that we've received, and then help them kind of steer us in the right direction as far as creating goals and a vision. And then we'll pull that stuff together, put together a draft of those goals and vision for probably, we're thinking the township officers to respond to and the steering committee. And then we'd be moving into, once we can set that, what those goals and that vision is, we'd be moving into phase 3, which is then getting into the different areas of the plan, like transportation, land use, economic development, et cetera. So I think that's the phase 3, where there's going to be more, maybe more of the meats of the project that maybe more people are interested in, like what's going to come out of this plan. And phase 3 is really where we're going to have those conversations. That's where we're at the moment. Any quick questions for me at the moment?
Some of you are on the steering committee and you know this,
Yeah.
a lot of this already.
Feel free to contact me at any point if you want to discuss what we're up to. I'd also like to mention, although the survey has closed, so we're not taking any more surveys at this point. We did get over 300 responses, so I was happy with that. And we will have some ongoing engagement up probably in the next couple of weeks or so. That'll be up, there'll be an interactive map that'll be on the website. And that'll allow you to identify locations kind of graphically throughout the county that you're interested in, that you like, places that you have concerns or that you want to see changes in, whether it be part of the road system, transportation options, or protection of natural resources or housing, examples that you want to highlight. Just a way for the public to engage on an ongoing matter. And then we were thinking that we'd hopefully be able to have some of the more graphic proposals that come out of the plan to be put there also, and allow the public to interact with some of those proposals, whether it be like a future land use map or any other proposals that we can show graphically. And so keep an eye on that space. There is a newsletter also on the website that you can sign up for. And I think there'll be more updates going forward for when things come out. We'll be able to let the public know if they're signed up through that newsletter. So yes, that's all that I have for now.
Okay, thank you, Lou. Any questions of Lou? Other than we just want a brief update, so I know.
Thanks.
things happening.
Yeah, feel free to catch me after the meeting if you like.
Thank you. I'm going to move on to the petitions. The first one on my docket is PC 09-18-2501. This is to consider the petition of Barbara Mitchell, who is seeking a conditional/interim use permit regarding the following: to allow an additional home in addition to a primary principal dwelling when established for a family member providing healthcare, and pursuant to chapter 10.4.6, subchapter 26 of the Winona County zoning ordinance. And I believe Eric's got this one.
Right. Yep. Good evening, Planning Commission. My honor here to give the first presentation here. If you have any questions, let me know here after I'm done. As your chair read the section, this is a interim use permit request to allow a secondary home in addition to the primary dwelling from 10.4.6 number 26 of the zoning ordinance, which is a conditional use option.
This is located at 10315 County Road 35 in St. Charles Township. The petitioners currently have roughly a 9.11 acre parcel. And with this diagram is roughly showing where a secondary dwelling would be located. The primary farmhouse or dwelling located immediately off of the road, right in this area. And then they have multiple accessory structures. Kind of a pictometry view, kind of shows more of the terrain. Not much as far as tillable ground that's on this acreage, but they do have some agricultural structures and they do have some livestock. You'll see some pictures there that are up close of the buildings. This is a view coming off of the driveway right behind the house, looking to the south. And the new home would be essentially in that portion of the yard that is there. This is looking to the west, roughly where the proposed home would be located. They do have a hydrant and a water line. They would have to explore septic possibilities with this site. Fairly level, currently lawn. There's a view back, looking back to the north, County Road right on the other side of the house, and the existing primary dwelling. View a little expanded out, showing the garage and again, the driveway leading to the County Road 35. The view kind of looking to the east of their pasture area, and you can see that you have some beef cattle that are on the site. Petitioners did meet with St. Charles Township Board on July 14th, and they indicated no comments to the request. We've received no other comments from any of the neighbors or any other parties at this point in time. And our recommendation was that since it could be identifiable point in time where it would not be occupied as petitioned, it would be an interim use. Of course, the petitioners would have the option to re-up or reapply should circumstances change and they feel like they may have a occupancy that would fit this permit as the terms have kind of laid out. Our staff report and the findings of fact that was reviewed by the county attorney's office recommends approval. With that approval, we've included 5 conditions for your consideration on this. And with that, I guess that section of the ordinance, I just wanted to touch on that 10.4626 is for family members needing or receiving health care and part-time farm help. In this case, it kind of is a hybrid of both of those issues. It's our staff's interaction with the petitioners said that the situation is such that the current owner, Barbara Mitchell, would like to move into the new secondary dwelling, and her son, daughter-in-law, and grandson would occupy the house. And also by that, because I guess because of some health reasons and because they do what the daughter-in-law would provide medical assistance to the mother-in-law. Also, with the acreage, they do have some agricultural components that are with this use too. So with that, any questions for the planning commission?
I have a quick question and I hadn't seen it come up before. No, it's going to be a brand new or built manufactured home. I hadn't thought of it being constructed out of the state, for example, but on condition 3, you want it to have an electrical inspection. Now, if it was manufactured in Minnesota, I would think it'd be required to meet all the codes.
Correct. Goes without being
That's a
said.
concern.
Yeah. In some cases, we've entertained alternative living quarters where somebody had an outbuilding
where they, we get a little bit concerned about the snow roof loads and the fire.
I can
elements.
appreciate that one, but if this is a bona fide,
Yeah. Complete
Manufactured
package
home.
usually.
I just don't want the owners to have any surprises here. Because if I bought something brand new, I would be very disappointed to have an electrical inspector come in and say, I don't like your ground fault, sockets in the bathroom or wherever it is.
Right.
And that's your concern?
Yeah, I mean, this is a standard condition. It's not specific to the situation.
Okay.
But
so
it's
one of those
it's
package
carried
deal.
over, yeah, from a lot of other interuses for secondary dwellings, so.
Okay. well,
I think
hope it
it's
doesn't apply in
inappropriate,
this
take
case.
it out, that would be.
Buyer beware. I think I've already warned them on what their salesman's got to prove to them. Thank you.
Yep, any other questions? Okay, I'll turn it over and you guys conduct the public.
Would the petitioners like to come up? Barb, anybody speak about your plans? Just state your name and address and tell us your project.
Barbara Mitchell, 10315 County Road 35 in St. Charles. I didn't
Any-
catch your last. You said three things and I only got the two. Sorry.
State your name and just tell us about your project. If you
Okay.
have anything further to contribute beyond what Eric has represented.
Well, first off, my husband passed away in October last year. So he's not, no, I got a tickle. So he's not here to help with maintenance and stuff on the farm.
If
So, my son's been
Come on
out
up,
there.
Steve, we'll get you a glass of water, okay?
My son's been out there quite a bit, working on our windbreak. We had a lot of weeds going up into the trees, killing them. So there's a lot of maintenance out there to be doing right now, and with his help, I can't do that myself, and I can't afford to just have everybody under the sun come out. Thank you. It gets expensive. So, and I have a few medical problems with my knees and my back, so I'd like to put the house out there. It would be sitting where the barn used to sit. And it's pretty flat right now. I might have to put a little fill in one area, but other than that, they would live in the house, my son and Lydia, which is my daughter-in-law over here, and my grandson, James. So it's pretty much just to keep me going out there. I've been there for 52 years and I don't really care to move. I've never been in town in my life as far as living. I was born on a farm or raised on a farm, moved a couple different places, and it's always been farms. So I'm close to town, so it's easy for me. So
Okay. Commissioners, any questions? I think it's been laid out quite well, but anybody have any questions of the petitioner? No, well,
one question though,
Sure.
Would it be possible to put a cement slab underneath the home, or is that something I shouldn't be doing?
I couldn't answer that for sure.
Okay,
I talked to your contractors and stuff like that on it. We know what
Okay,
a home,
okay.
Eric
Yeah, no,
Any
we would have no.
issue on that?
prohibitions. That'd be, they're solely their choice.
Yeah,
You-
okay.
you know, keep
I
in
thought
mind,
that, but I want to make sure.
30, 40, 50 years down the road, you just want to keep that in mind, that, okay, that could hurt, concrete is permanent, but, that could always be a pad, so, but we wouldn't have it.
Okay,
Stipulation.
Sounds good.
that's about all I have.
All right, thank you for your input.
Okay, thank you.
Motion to open the public meeting.
Do I have a second to open the public
I'll second.
meeting? Eugene seconds that. All in favor, say aye. Aye, opposed, nay. Hearing none, all in favor. Anybody wishing to speak for or against this petition, please come to the microphone. State your name and your address and your issue. And no one, anybody wishing to speak for or against this petition, please come to the microphone. State your name and address and your concerns. Okay, third time, anybody wishing to speak for or against this petition, please come to the microphone and speak Tell us your name and your address and your concerns. Motion to close?
I move that we
Gene?
close.
And, all right, I'll give the second to Louis. All in favor of closing the public hearing, say aye. Aye. Opposed to closing public hearing, say nay. Hearing none, all in favor. Okay, commissioners, what are your wishes here?
Motion to approve the facts and findings.
Second. Any other discussion?
Yeah. How long after they no longer legally have this ability to have this house there, do they have before it has to be removed or redone?
Well, two things they could do. They could apply for another conditional use permit.
Okay.
Or Eric might be able to answer how long they have after they vacate the premises.
Yeah, again, it probably would be just a matter of being informed of what the plan is, and if there was an issue where extended time went by where our records were not updated, or there was some concerns, we'd have to look into that. But typically we would work with people if they were, I guess the original concern with this type of request that goes all the way back in the history of the planning circle is that people aren't renting out additional units for side income. They wanted to offer this provision for legitimate part-time farm help, full-time farm help, and for family members. So it'd have to be outside those realms before we'd even actually get involved with it. So.
Okay.
Any other? Are we ready to vote? All in favor of recommending this conditional use permit? Say aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay. Hearing none, all in favor. Your next hearing will be with the county board on Tuesday, October 14th at 9 a.m. Okay? 9 a.m. Yeah.
I would say they'll typically be on consent, so a lot of times they might not even have a public hearing, but it'd be a public meeting in front of the county board.
Thank you. Our next petition is docket PC 09-18-2502 to consider a petition of Kelly Anderson, who is seeking a conditional interim use permit regarding the following: to allow a new single-family dwelling on less than 40 acres, a proposed 31-acre split and pursuant to chapter 10.4.6, subchapter 36 of the Winona County zoning ordinance. And I think Olivia's got this one.
Good evening. Some of the project overview, like Jordan did mention earlier, they did receive a variance earlier today for prime soils that are on the property. And we'll show that in a little bit, but it's section 33 of St. Charles Township. The parcel as it currently sits is 71 acres. You can see in the aerial to the right, the proposed split is outlined in red. It's 31 acres. And then there would be a 40-acre section to the south of that. But this petition is on that 31 acres. This is a staff created site plan. So the proposed dwelling location is right to the east of the hump of the field there. It also shows the prime soils, which is again why they needed the variance, but the 31-acre parcel would be the portion to the north of that existing parcel. Petitioner submitted site plan, about a 50 by 40 dwelling site, and then the driveway would be utilizing an existing field approach off of Cherokee Road. And you can see in the aerial, Cherokee comes down from the north and then dead ends, kind of right where that parcel boundary would be. Some of the considerations, because it's in ARC zoning, it does require a conditional use for a new home to be on less than 40 acres. They did get a variance for the prime soils requirements. They're proposing to maintain that existing crop field or transition it to native grassland. And like I mentioned, Cherokee Road does dead end close to where their property is. And it is a pending sale of that 40-acre parcel from the split. So some site photos. This is looking at the existing field access off of Cherokee Road. You can see there's an existing shed on the property, and that's down in the background, downslope. This is looking north up Cherokee Road towards Highway 14, and then looking south towards that dead end. The building site is currently wooded. It's right on the edge of that field, so you can't really distinguish too much where that footprint is going to go, but it'll be in this area right off the field there to the east. And then this is looking west, back up through the field towards Cherokee Road. The driveway would be a straight shot from Cherokee Road through that field entrance to the house. They did attend the St. Charles Township meeting. They met on July 19th to consider it and had no comments regarding the request. We also have not received any neighbor comments. So our recommendation would be that you consider all materials and testimony before making findings that support your decision. Our analysis and draft findings do support granting it as a conditional use permit, and there are 4 conditions drafted for your consideration.
Any questions for Olivia?
What's that field currently? Is it just a grass field?
Alfalfa, correct? Yep. Thank you.
And anyone from the petitioner wishing to come up and tell us about your project and
Good
any
evening.
information?
I'm
Tell us your
Kel-
name and address.
I'm Kelly Anderson. I'm 2111 Telemark Lane Northwest in Rochester. And I thank you for your time tonight. I think Olivia did a really good job of explaining kind of the project. I don't have much more to add, but I'm available for questions.
Any questions, commissioners? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Motion to open the public meeting.
Do I have a second to open after Louis' motion? Second from Jordan. All in favor, say aye to open public hearing. Aye. Say nay if you're opposed to the public hearing. Hearing none, all in favor. Our public hearing is now open. Anybody wishing to speak for or against this petition, please come to the microphone, state your name and your address and your concerns. Anybody wishing to speak for or against this petition, please come to the microphone, state your name and address and your concerns. Okay, seeing none. Anybody wishing to speak for or against this petition, please come to the microphone, state your name and address. Seeing none, do I have a motion to close the public
So
hearing?
moved.
I'll second.
All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, nay, hearing none, all in favor. And what's your wishes here,
Motion
commissioners?
to approve with the facts and findings.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, Gene, said, any discussion? We'll move on a vote to recommend this petition. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Hearing none, all in favor. And now, your next hearing, October 14th, 9 a.m. Okay. Any thing before we adjourn?
Well, should I bring up our little project in the greater town of Fremont?
No, I want that to work through the township.
Okay,
Yep. So,
seeing none, I'd have a motion to adjourn.
and is there a second?
Second.
Mike got the second this time. See, Gina's quick in the draw.
Getting a-
All in favor, all those in favor of adjourning say aye. Aye. Those opposed say nay. We're all in favor of adjourning. I thank you, commissioners.
This was a quickie.